Okay, hey everybody, Sarah Pond, CMO of Embed. I'm so excited now to be here with you again, still at IAPA. And I am speaking with Vanessa Miller today, and I'm so excited, obviously as excited as I was to speak with her husband, James Miller of Funstation, okay, in the UK. They don't need any introduction. They have 15 locations and they are pioneers in the industry. And what I love, what we learned so far from James is the fact that it's 5 generations of showmen in entertainment. And what did he say? He didn't say circus, he said playgrounds.
Playgrounds.
Okay. Yeah. And then he said catering and literally, and he also, what James mentioned was, again, Funstation is family owned and operated, but it's really the entire Funstation family, right? So that includes all employees, etc. And he said that you are the brains of the operation.
That's very kind. I would say it's a team, a collective.
You think so? It's a collective. You know, it is true that it is indeed a collective effort. But what I will say, Vanessa, and I was mentioning this to you just a moment ago, is how impressed I am with so many family-owned and operated businesses where you will have, and I told James this, that I find that you're the yin to his yang. You know what I mean? Like your strengths are, you know, not his strengths, and his strengths are not yours, and like you complement each other so well. Do you believe that's true too?
Yes, I think you've got to have somebody to push against and to bounce ideas off of, and sometimes a male perspective is very different to a female perspective.
Isn't that the truth?
And in a family business, and we have FECs, so we're looking at attracting families. So you need to see both sides of the coin.
That's right. And what's fascinating in family entertainment is, you're right, families and their children and whatnot are very much your target. So if you're family owned and operated, then you're going to have that special perspective of your target consumer, right?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of your company, I mean, 15 locations, 40 years? When I said to him 40 years of business, he's like, well, Vanessa and myself collect, you know, if you take the years together, it's about 100 years.
Don't make me feel old.
Is that right? And so anyway, what a dream, if you think about it, right? Because you've had so many different chapters that you've gone through, and you know, so many different pivots to embracing technology, and again, growing to 15 businesses, and knowing, this is something he covered also, knowing when to delegate. And when you own something, delegating means trusting others to do what you would think is best.
Yes, and I think also not being frightened to delegate. And as a woman, that some people will say, oh, women can do everything, but you don't need to do everything. You need to be comfortable with what you can do.
Yes.
And know your own mind.
Limits.
Be true to yourself.
Yes.
And know where your strengths are, and delegate to others who are better at other challenges.
I know James may disagree with me, but I think women are better at that. And I think women also are better leaders. But anyway, I'll take that back. Nothing against James. But okay, so tell us, who in your family, he made reference to the family business. And I know James is really proud of his family, whether it's his immediate family or the extended family or employees who are part of the family. And Julie Petit, who's been with you for a very long time and grown with the business and is a leader, also indicated that she really felt like she was part of this family, and that this family actually was there for her a bit more than her own family during life's challenges, which I think is incredible. Tell me, who in your immediate family is in the family business?
So all 3 of my sons work in the business.
Okay.
They manage sites. They also are involved in operations. Our middle son does a lot of customer service, and he helps the sites with their operations, but based at head office. My sister is also our head of food and beverage, because that's her strength. She's been in that industry all of her life. And then our senior team have all been with us. As you said, Julie's been with us a long time. We have a very strong senior team who are mainly women. But then we've got, in the wider field, we've got site managers who've been with us 20 years. We've got people who have grown with us. They started as team members. They worked their way up to site managers. They're now in marketing. or they're buying our stock. They've all grown with us, and
Wow.
that's why they feel like they're part of the family, because we've believed in them and
Yeah.
we've empowered them to move forward
that's
in a role
wonderful.
that they enjoy.
And isn't that the ultimate test of a leader, is being able to give someone a professional opportunity and then finding actually believing in them in a way that perhaps they didn't even believe in themselves, and then giving them opportunities to grow. I think that's a testament of exceptional leadership. I think it's also a testament of exceptional leadership when you have such favorable gender parity. I mean, if you look at Embed, right, we have a strong CEO female, and then if you look at our parity, I'm also obviously a female, in the chief executive team, and our parity is about 66% in favor of women.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Which I think also says something about leadership and gender and cultural equality. It's wonderful. Now, the reason why I was smiling when you were talking about your sister is because your sister's right here. And when I mentioned to James, your sister-in-law is also part of the operations, because I knew about your sons,
Right.
and he said, yes, but she earned it. She's been there. She's an expert in a specific field. And I said, I know, I get it. And I think it's wonderful to have such a talented family. Okay, so tell me, Vanessa, okay, you're the brains of the operation, the strength of the operation. I love how flattering he is about having you as his partner, because he was like, we're partners. Anyway, it was really beautiful, my chat with him. Isn't that lovely?
I think a lot of people see James and he's the face of the company, and that he enjoys that. He enjoys being out there and he enjoys being seen and heard. I prefer to be in the background but equally involved, and as
Of
you
course.
say, we discuss everything. Everything is
Amazing.
equally approved, or the challenges we face, we work through together.
That's awesome.
Although
Amazing.
when it comes to going out there and promoting, that's James's sector, and I'm happy to let him do that.
I know, I've seen that through the years. And I know you tend to be media shy, so I thank you actually for sitting down and having a chat with me, and also sharing the gift of your example, because you never know who's going to watch and listen to this, right? And okay, so my question to you would be, do you have a favorite quote that you want to share, a favorite quote or a favorite life lesson, or what do you know for sure? I always like to ask that of really established entrepreneurs. I want to say, listen, knowing what you know now, okay, looking across the years, right? What do you know for sure? What can you say, I know this for sure?
I think you have to be true to yourself, and I think if you stay with that, and always having a positive attitude.
Right.
So whatever challenges come, if you've got a positive attitude, you can work your way through them. It's about surrounding yourself with people that you trust and that empower you to be a better person by their positivity. And surround yourself with positive people.
Yes.
It always comes back to people.
It always does come back to people. And I love that you mentioned attitude, okay? Because your vibe, your vibration, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? And
Yes,
if you're,
yes.
isn't it true? And if you're positive, you
I like
will
that.
attract other positive people. And the fact that you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with, it's actually incredibly powerful, right? To put together a high-performing team that is able to see opportunities even during the challenge. And James mentioned that. He said that when people asked him, what was your plan? How did you plan this? And what he said was, no, I didn't have a plan. But as we went along, we looked at everything that we knew, and then we would make a decision based on what we thought was right. And then that propelled us forward. And I think that's ultimately the key to life, right? Because, yeah.
You've got to evolve. You've
Yes.
got to evolve with what's coming. And things change so fast now, especially in this industry.
I know.
And I think it's, yes, looking at a bigger picture, but evolving in the moment also, and being resilient.
Yes.
And listening to the people around you, and taking on their knowledge. That's why you go to people who can do things better than you do,
Absolutely.
to absorb what they know.
Oh,
So-
absolutely. And in fact, if you look at my team, I hired a group of professionals, all of whom are way smarter than me and have a domain expertise in their specific area. I am just good at setting direction, a vision, a strategy, and then they're the ones that move forward and execute it. And you know, a lot of that comes, I think, with age and wisdom, is the ability to grow into that into that role. Now, given that you come from 5 generations of showmen, okay, what do you think your ancestors would say if they came today and they peeked into your life at this very moment with the lights on you and a camera on you, knowing, you know, 15 locations and like 40 years of just building a business and being an entrepreneur? What do you think they would say? Would they just marvel at your existence?
I think they would. I think they'd be really proud. I think they, especially for me, because I'm quite shy. I mean, this is so far out of my comfort zone. And one of my mantras would be, comfort is the enemy of progress. But I do tend to stay in my comfort zone. But this, as I say, does follow that strain in that I am now out of my comfort zone.
Yes.
Because that's how you grow.
Because that is exactly how you grow.
Yeah.
And you know what, Vanessa, knowing what I know about you and your family history, 5 generations of showmen, right? I think if your ancestors came back today, they would be impressed. They would actually just marvel at, you know, the business that you've grown, the family that you have, right? And honestly, you know, to honor them, right, is to honor yourself as well. So, you know, you should be very proud. The only question I have is, why won't James let you get the donkeys? Or was it donkeys that you wanted? Or, yeah, it was donkeys, right? Why won't he let you? Just a couple of donkeys. Come on.
If we had donkeys, we wouldn't be here. We'd have to find somebody to look after them.
No, you're right. But I remember the first time I met you and you said to me, you shared that you would like to have, you know, just a pair of donkeys. And I thought, why not? They have the strength of a horse and the emotional depth that you get with a dog. And I thought, how lovely. And so, you know, I'm always, you know, through the years, I've been in James's ear just saying, you know, she really should. You really should. You won't regret it. And he always looks at me like, oh, bugger. Vanessa shouldn't have told her. Vanessa, tell me, who do you find inspiring in your life?
I think there's a lot of celebrities out there who have a big media campaign behind them, who people find inspiring. But for me, it's the people closer to me, the women closer to me.
Yes.
So it would be my sisters. You know, their life journeys have taught me lots of lessons and kept me grounded. So for me, it would definitely be my 2 sisters.
You have 2 sisters. Are you the oldest or?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest, so it's your older sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why do you find them inspiring? Or is it because you're doing life with them? Because if you think about it, when you work with them and you are doing life with them, so tell me, why do you find them inspiring? Why are they a source of inspiration for you?
I think being the youngest, I've seen their life journeys before those things came to me. So they had children first, they were married first, they're both were in business. So I could see their journey and I learned from that. And the challenges they faced and the way they overcame them were really inspiring to me.
Oh,
yeah.
so
And I'm so
lovely.
proud of them both.
You're proud of them both.
Yeah.
Your sister's so proud of you, you know. She was just talking about you, Natalie. You know, she was gushing about, you know, her older sisters, how much she admires and respects you, and how, you know, in an ocean of people, you are the greatest sources of inspiration for her. Isn't that lovely? I'm so touched. Thank you for sharing that with us today. Oh, thank you. Okay, excellent. Hey, it's such a pleasure to speak with you, and thank you for stepping out of your comfort zone. I know that both you and James prefer to be, you know, running your business and whatnot. But at the end of the day, if you know your history is that of a showman, I'm just so happy you stepped outside your comfort zone, because this is a gift, the gift of your example that we're sharing with the world. So everybody, this was Vanessa Miller. She is an absolute rock star, and we're really thankful that she was with us today. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.